The main view screen is a tapestry of silent fire. Your fleet, humanity's last, hangs against the void. Each ship is a pinprick of defiant light. They wait for your command. They wait for the end. You stand on the bridge of the Defiance. The ship's name feels like a bitter joke. Beyond your fleet, space itself seems to curdle. It twists. It tears open. A wound of non-color appears in the blackness. From this wound, they emerge. The enemy. The Elder Ones. Their ships are not forged from metal and wire. They are grown from logic and light. Perfect, crystalline shapes. A fleet of impossible jewels. They do not announce themselves with weapons fire. They do not hail you with threats. They simply arrive. Their presence is a declaration, an answer to a question no one dared ask. The question of humanity's place in the universe. The answer, it seems, is nowhere. Your tactical officer leans forward. His voice is a low hum of controlled fear. Shapes confirmed, Admiral. They match the Sol archive footage. He doesn't need to say more. You saw the footage. You saw Earth's final broadcast, a sky full of those same deadly jewels. Then, silence. All ships. Report readiness, you say. Your voice echoes in the sudden hush of the bridge. It sounds stronger than you feel. One by one, the ship captains check in. Their voices are steady, resolute. They are the best of humanity, the last of humanity, and they are about to be extinguished. The Elder Ones hang in the void before you. Their formation is a perfect lattice, a flawless geometric proof of their superiority. They are not preparing to fight. They are preparing to erase a mistake, the mistake of you, of your species. This is the last stand, and it is beginning in absolute, terrifying silence. A man clears his throat beside you. It's a small, nervous sound in the tomb-like quiet. Dr. Aris Thorne. He looks out of place in his worn scholar's jacket. His eyes, however, burn with a strange fire. A desperate, foolish fire. He is the architect of your only remaining hope. Admiral, he begins, his voice shaky. Their formation is exactly as my models predicted. His models. The same ones that got him laughed out of the academy. The ones that labeled him a heretic of star science. A man chasing ghosts in the data. His plan is simple in its madness. It is not about fighting them ship to ship. That is a fool's errand, a fast way to die. No, Thorne's plan is to fight the idea of them. To fight their perfection. To weaponize the one thing they cannot model. The one thing they cannot predict. Human chaos. You look from Thorne to the view screen. The crystalline fleet waits. Patient. Inevitable. You remember the debate. The council screaming at you. Calling this plan a suicide pact. Choosing a disgraced theorist over every tactical doctrine ever written. But their doctrines failed at Sol. They failed at every colony since. You're still certain, Doctor? You ask. Your voice is low. For his ears only. This symphony of chaos will work. Thorne nods, adjusting his glasses. They are beings of pure logic, Admiral. Their strength is their greatest weakness. He taps a screen beside him. It shows the black star cluster, a region of space known for its unpredictable gravitational tides, its unstable star-borne phenomena. They can predict every missile trajectory, he explains, every energy burst, but they cannot predict genuine, pointless, glorious nonsense. He says the word nonsense with a reverence usually saved for gods. In a way, he is praying to a new god today, the god of beautiful, terrible mistakes. It is a desperate, foolish hope, but it is the only one you have. A soft chime comes from the communications console. The officer looks at you. Her face is pale. Admiral, we are receiving a transmission. It is not a voice channel. It is a pure data stream, sent on a broad, omnidirectional wave. A message for every ship, every soul. Put it on screen, you order. Translate it. The officer's fingers fly across her console. The view screen flickers. The perfect enemy fleet remains. But now text scrolls over the image. The synthesized voice that reads it is calm, serene, utterly without emotion. It is the voice of the inevitable. Analysis of species designated human. The voice begins. Conclusion. A chaotic variable. The words are sterile. The verdict of a machine. Your biological and societal development is based on irrationality, on emotion, on flawed, recursive logic. The bridge crew is frozen. They listen to their own eulogy, written by a power they cannot comprehend. The voice continues its flawless dissection of your existence. It details your wars, your art, your love. It frames them all not as achievements, but as aberrations, deviations from a stable, logical universe. Your capacity for unpredictable behavior poses a threat, the voice states. A threat to universal constants. A threat to continued, stable existence. There is no malice in its tone, just fact. The same tone you might use to describe a faulty circuit, a bug in the code, cosmic housekeeping. Therefore, a correction is required, the voice concludes. Your extinction is a mathematical necessity. There will be no pain. There will be only order. The message ends. The text fades. You are left once again with the silent, jeweled ships, waiting to correct you. To balance their equation, your comms officer turns to you. Admiral, shall I respond? What could you say? How do you argue with a mathematical proof? How do you reason with the storm? You look at Dr. Thorne. He's smiling faintly, a wild, almost unhinged smile. They took the bait, he whispers. They believe we will engage them with logic. You turn back to the silent bridge, to the faces of your crew. They are looking to you, not for a speech, not for a miracle, just for an order, an act of defiance against the inevitable. You will not give them a speech. You will give them chaos. No response, Lieutenant, you say. Let them think we are considering their terms. You take a deep breath. The air on the bridge feels electric, heavy with unspoken fear and a sliver of hope. You key the fleet-wide channel. Your voice must be iron. All ships, you command. This is the Admiral. You have your orders. You have your flight paths. You pause. Execute. The Thorne maneuver. For a heartbeat, nothing happens. Then, the view screen becomes a storm of motion. Your fleet, your last precious fleet, erupts. But it is not an attack. It is madness. Ships peel away in vectors that make no sense. Frigates fire their main guns at empty space. Cruisers vent plasma in decorative, useless plumes. Your tactical officer flinches. Admiral, the Courageous is flying backwards. He sounds personally offended. Its weapons are facing away from the enemy. Good, you say, your eyes fixed on the display. Tell the Orion to start broadcasting our oldest musical symphonies at maximum volume. The officer stares at you. He thinks you have finally broken. Perhaps you have. This is the symphony of chaos, and you are its conductor. The plan is not to destroy them, not yet. It is to confuse them, to feed their perfect predictive models so much garbage data, so much irrational noise, that the models begin to fracture. Each ship in your fleet is an instrument. Each captain is playing a different, terrible song. And together, they create a cacophony that logic cannot grasp. Dr. Thorne watches the data streams. His face is flush with excitement. "Look," he says, pointing at a screen filled with scrolling code. Their response time is slowing, by milliseconds. But it is slowing. They are trying to find the pattern, the strategy, the logic behind your fleet's insanity. They are trying to solve an equation that has no answer. And it is costing them time. It is costing them certainty. The enemy fleet, the perfect crystal lattice, begins to move. Its response is a thing of terrifying beauty. For every one of your erratic ships, a single elder, one vessel detaches. It moves on an intercept course of impossible grace and speed. They are countering your chaos with surgical precision. Their energy weapons lance out. Silent, white beams of light. They do not miss. The destroyer's stalwart vanishes in a brief, noiseless flash. The frigate Pathfinder is cored from stem to stern. It drifts, a dead hulk. The enemy is adapting. They are learning to predict your lack of patterns. The cost of this lesson is being paid in human lives. The bridge is silent, save for the hum of the ship. Then, you see it. Your eyes are drawn to a small corvette. The Vigilance. Its captain, a young woman with a reputation for recklessness. She was always a bit of a gambler. Her ship suddenly lurches. It begins to vent drive plasma from its main engine. A classic, almost cliché sign of a critical reactor failure. Your tactical officer groans. "We've lost the Vigilance. Her reactor is..." Wait. He stops. The venting plasma is green. Standard drive plasma is blue. Green is the color of the emergency coolant. It is a bluff. A cheap, theatrical, incredibly human trick. A lie told in light and gas. On the tactical display, two of the Elder, one ships react. They alter their perfect vectors. They move to intercept the dying corvette. For a single glorious instant, their projected paths overlap. Their energy shields, designed to never touch, flicker as they pass too close. Their perfect crystalline formation breaks. It is a tiny flaw, a crack in the face of a diamond, a single miscalculation in an eternity of perfection. But it is there. Dr. Thorne lets out a choked gasp. "They did it," he breathes. "They made a mistake. You have planted the first seed of doubt in the mind of a god. The impossible has happened, and you saw it. That single second of imperfection costs you dearly." The Elder. One seemed to realize their error at the speed of thought. The two ships that broke formation do not simply destroy the Vigilance. They do something far worse. They unleash a wave of force, a pulse of pure, annihilating energy that expands from their position. It is not a weapon. It is a statement, a correction. The entire quadrant of space where the Vigilance floated is wiped clean. The corvette itself is gone. 3 other ships, 2 frigates and a supply hauler that were too slow, are also gone. Not destroyed, erased. They simply cease to be. The main view screen shows nothing but empty space. The void is filled with the silent, unseen wreckage of your hope. A comms officer reports the losses. Her voice is a monotone, trying to conceal the tremor. 1,742 souls. Gone. The price for a single second of their confusion. The bridge is a vacuum, the air sucked out by the sudden, brutal loss. Your tactical officer looks at you. His face is a mask of grief and shock. "Admiral, was it worth it?" The question hangs in the air. Thorne answers before you can. "Yes," he says, his voice hard as steel. "It was worth everything." He points to his data screen. They made an error. A small one, but quantifiable. His fingers dance across the console. They overcompensated. Their response was inefficient. Emotional, even. He looks at you, his eyes blazing. We proved the theory, Admiral. They are not perfect. They can be flustered. They can be beaten. You look at the empty space on the screen. Then at the faces of your crew. They are looking for a sign, for a reason to keep fighting. 1,700 souls for one data point. You have to make that trade worth it. You cannot let their sacrifice be for nothing. Commander, you say, your voice ringing with a conviction you do not entirely feel. Set a new course. Maximum speed. The tactical officer looks up, confused. A course to where, Admiral? Away from them? No, you say, shaking your head. Not away. Deeper in. You point to a region on the star chart, a dark, ominous patch within the black star cluster. It is labeled with a single, stark warning: the null zone. The crew murmurs. Every spacer knows the stories. The null zone is a graveyard of ships, a place where navigation fails, where sensors return impossible readings. It is a region of star-born chaos, a place where the normal laws of star science seem to break down. No one goes there willingly. It is a place where technology dies. Admiral, with respect, your officer says slowly, that's suicide. Our systems are already strained. Ours, yes. Thorne cuts in, stepping forward. But our systems are built by flawed hands. They have a tolerance for error. He gestures to the enemy fleet on the screen. Theirs do not. Their technology requires stable universal constants. It needs a predictable universe to function. He turns to you. The null zone is the most unpredictable place we know. For them, it would be like a man trying to breathe water. It is the next stage of his mad plan. Lure them into a battlefield where their greatest strength, their perfect technology, becomes their fatal flaw. You look at the approaching crystalline ships. They are already reforming. Learning from their mistake, you have a window, a small one, a chance to press the advantage you paid for in blood. You heard the doctor, you say, your voice leaving no room for argument. Set the course. We are racing into the null zone. Now the order is given. The remnants of your fleet, scarred, battered, but not yet broken, turn as one. They abandon their chaotic dance. They form a desperate spearhead aimed at the heart of the darkness. You are leading the last of your species on a final, desperate gamble. A race into a haunted stretch of space, hoping the ghosts there are more afraid of you than you are of them.